Tiny Friends. Today we're starting a segment I'm going to call News of the Fact, which is basically going to be a look at some of the awful practices, news, or updates going on in gaming that makes my blood boil. For our first foray into fuckery, we're going to be taking a look at two stories today. Grand Theft Auto 5's decision to remove cars from its game and hide behind a paywall, and Overwatch 2's decision to cut PvE, only to now have the story mode that players have wanted for so long locked behind a paywall as well. Paywalls. Gotta love them. Before we dive into the depths of this utter betrayal, please consider liking and subscribing, as each subscription helps me to know that you like me. You really, really like me. Now, on to the news. Starting off with GTA 5, they've removed over 180 vehicles from the base game. Needless to say, that's a lot. They claim the reason is because these are mostly unused cars and they wanted to be the oh-so-generous overlords that they are and clean up the marketplace for us. Which, okay, I used to play GTA fairly frequently until it started to feel more like a chore than a game, and yeah, there is a lot of content, and currently the interfaces for managing it is cumbersome, and perhaps there is a lot of bloat. If they just remove the useless cars that players don't really use, what's the big deal? Well, let's take a look at that list again. See right here? The Sterling GT was removed, supposedly because it wasn't being used. Well, then if it wasn't being used, why is it now being offered as a vehicle you can purchase only if you subscribe to GTA Plus? See where they're going with this? And you might be asking yourself, wait, what is GTA Plus? Because if you're like me who played it at launch and maybe a little bit when it got ported over to the different consoles over its 10-year lifespan, you likely haven't played it in a while and might be confused as to why a game this old has a subscription service now. Yes, for just $6 a month, you can get access to these permanent benefits, plus some additional monthly content such as free clothes and events. And you, like me, might be wondering why they would release something like this so late, and who is actually paying for it. The latter question is simply the die-hard fans, those who still play daily and are still amassing a fortune and having fun with the game. Which, great. It's your money. If you want to spend it on something that makes you happy, go for it. As for the second part, that where things get a little bit more fucked. At least, if they do what I think they're going to do. See, this, as well as the cars, is all to set up the stage for GTA 6. I guarantee from day one they're going to roll out a subscription service for their new GTA Online. And with that subscription service, content that we once could get for free by grinding the game will now likely be locked behind the subscription service paywall. Which, just to clarify, by subscribing to the service, it doesn't mean you just get the cars. No, it means you now have access to purchase the cars. You still have to play the game to get the in-game currency to purchase them. It's just through the service you can now actually purchase them. So it doesn't eliminate the grind, it's just more money to get access to the shop. And in thinking about this, I think of some of the more absurd vehicles in the game, like the Oppressor Mark II and the Deluxo. Two of my favorite vehicles just to goof around in. Are those going to be behind paywall come GTA 6? What about nuclear subs? It's a slippery slope, and so far, fan reaction has been quite harsh to Rockstar, because what is becoming more commonplace in gaming culture isn't charging for extra content that was crafted to be sold to us. Oh no! Rather, it's taking away content that we already had, or had in previous games, and having that sold to us instead. Which brings us to our second news story of the day, Overwatch 2's Story Mode. Yes, coming out hot off the heels of their admittance that they scrapped PvE hero missions before Overwatch 2 even released, we finally have information about the story missions which fans have been asking for pretty much since the first cinematic dropped. One positive thing I can say about Overwatch is the cinematics are damn good. They get you right in the feels and make you want to know more about these characters in this world. Before Overwatch 2 released, I watched the cinematic for it at least 2 or 3 times just because it was that good, and I was so excited to see these characters again and where they were going to go. So even though we lost hero missions, at least we'll still be able to get a story to help us learn more about these characters and the world. Only, you better be ready to get out your wallet to do so. Because let's take a look here at the words directly from Blizzard themselves. To get access to the Overwatch 2 Invasion story missions during this season, and permanently after, you better get ready to pay $15. With that, you get the missions, you get 1,000 Overwatch coins, a brand new Sojourn skin, and permanent access to Sojourn herself. Which, at first glance, you might think that's not a bad deal. $15 for missions, coins, a skin, and a character If I don't already have it, that's not bad. But here's the issue, which is one of the main issues with Overwatch 2 already. It is bundled in such a way that if you don't care about anything but the story missions, you've still got to pay the 15. There's no option to just pay for the story missions separate. I don't play Sojourn, so I don't care about her skin, and I already have her unlocked. So that $19 value they're boasting about doesn't help me in the slightest. Which, can it really be considered that much of a value when they are the ones setting the prices for the content in the first place? 1,000 Overwatch coins. Okay, let's see what I can buy with 1,000 coins. Nope. None of these skins. Not even these. Looks like I'd have just enough to buy the battle pass. Okay, and yes, and I can buy a character that I don't have. Which, if I was a hardcore player and bought the battle pass each season, I'd already have them, so that would remove that off the table. So there's not too much you can really spend 1,000 coins on, is there? But that is okay, because if you don't like the $15 bundle, surely you'll like the $40 one. With this bundle, you get all the stuff mentioned before, plus the battle pass and 20 level skips. An additional 1,000 coins, which means you can get some of the lower tier single skins, still not the higher ones or the bundles that we saw, and 2 additional skins this time. This one for Cassidy and Kiriko. And guys, I just can't do this anymore. I can't. I was so excited for the story missions. I love Overwatch lore, and I want to dive into more and see these characters. But this just really blows my mind with how they are treating their fan base. You take away the content we wanted, and then give us scraps of it back and charge us for it. I mean, from the reports of those who have played some of the content, it is really fun. The missions run about 30 minutes and have to be done with real people, as apparently you can't load up in a bot lobby and run it. So $15 for an hour and a half of content. Maybe more, maybe less, depending on your skill at the game. $15 for 3 missions, and you know that they have more on the way at that same price point. It just feels dirty. All of this does. You're taking away things and slicing them apart so that we as gamers have to pay for the content we actually want. I'm not happy about it. And despite wanting to play the content and see the story, I'm personally not going to buy it. I can't. I won't tell them that this is a good idea by using my money on it. That's all I've got for you today, guys. I hope you enjoyed the first installment of News of the Fuck because, well, I know I didn't. Until next time. Bye.